So we're going to turn this spreadsheet into an array of objects that we can use in JavaScript. It's important to note that a spreadsheet is actually an array, and each row is actually an object in that array. Now that being said, if we put the syntax for our object directly in a column, so we put our key here, and of course you see the opening curly brace, and we have a backtick character to contain the string, and a backtick character, you see, to make the containment. Now over here, as you can see, we have our object, which at the very end here is contained with that closing curly brace. And of course we have the comma, so we can put another object. Keep going with it. Now over here, at the very end, in order to turn this into an array of objects, we're using a very simple formula. So in this, any cell right next to the row, I'm skipping one column in between, but I just take, let's say, this column here, and I double click in it, and what I've done is I've typed in manually $, and then concat open parentheses A2 :I2 close parentheses. And of course, you don't have to type it. You can also have, you can select it. So when you're typing concat, let me scroll out a little bit. I can say click here, and then click here, and then hit enter. So it knows what we're stating. This says A3 and I3 because we're not using the first row, just in case anybody wants to add headers. I like it kind of better, kind of just straight across. That's just the way I look at it anyways. But as you can see, let me hit the escape button to get out of that. It makes a nice object for every row. It's formatted for JavaScript. Let me get out of that again with the escape button. But you see it's formatted for JavaScript already. And so when we want to bring this into our JavaScript file, we'll select every row and say, right-click copy. Now that our data is copied, let's go to our VS Code editor and paste the code into an array. Let's make a new file with Control-N. And now let's make the name of, let's say an array should be called books. So we'll say let books equal, and we'll have the open bracket, open square bracket, and then let's contain it. Now in between we'll paste the data. So we'll right click, we'll go to paste. Clean that up at the end there. As you can see, we have all of our objects here, if we want to separate it. And so we have our array of objects that came from our spreadsheet very, very easily. And we can use this array of objects in all of our JavaScript. Anytime you need to add a new row, you just select the row. So you select it, and then you just drag it down. and that lets you put new data in. You know, you type something new, you say here's a new book, here is our new book title, you know, give it a new path, you know, tell it where it is, you know, wherever it is, our new book path. So over here, we need to do the same thing. We drag down the formula, and this will make it so the data of the row is now being processed through the formula. So if we do a bunch, if we wanted to, you know, if we had a whole bunch of books we wanted to add, we would just, you know, grab you'd say this many rows. So we have this many to work with. You know, just keep filling them in as you go along there. And of course over here, correspondingly, this one right here, so we'll grab from here and we pull from the handle downward, and that just let me undo it so I can show you again close up. So we're going to go from here and drag down, and there we are. Of course these are all the same because we haven't filled in the new data yet, but just to give you an idea, if we wanted to change this one now, something else, let's say that, so it changes automatically. So now your object data that's you know, correctly formatted for JavaScript is being updated in real time in this cell. This makes it very easy to generate and maintain very large worlds, you know, virtual worlds, two-dimensional game worlds, three-dimensional game worlds. This technique is very good for investigations, you name it. So when you can turn spreadsheet data consistently into an array of objects that can be used in JavaScript, it's very useful. But yeah, I hope you guys have fun with this method, and you have fun making video game worlds with your spreadsheet data.